Today we learned astronaut Jim Lovell has died. At 97, he'd been the oldest surviving astronaut. He flew in space 4 times, but he's best known for helping turn a failed mission into a success story made for Hollywood. Lovell was part of the Apollo 8 crew. Lovell, Frank Borman, and William Anders were the first 3 men to ever leave the Earth's orbit and circle the moon.
Sometimes I look back and say, you know, how do we ever do that?
They snapped this famous photo, Earthrise, as they orbited the moon. And Lovell broadcast from space on Christmas Eve, reading from the Bible.
And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night.
Lovell wasn't done beating the odds. He also flew on the ill-fated Apollo 13 mission, which had to abort plans to land on the moon after an explosion in an oxygen tank.
Houston, we have a problem.
Tom Hanks played Lovell in the movie Apollo 13. In an all-time cameo, when Hanks, playing Lovell, arrives back safely on a Navy ship, the captain whom Hanks salutes was played by Jim Lovell.
Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of Apollo 13, Captain Jim Lovell.
Good evening. All things considered, I know that I'm one of the luckiest men in the world. To be here on Earth again, to have enjoyed a career in the nation's great space program, and then to be played on the big screen by Tom Hanks. Zowie. When Tom came to Houston to scout the movie, I invited him to my house just west of Austin. We met at the airport, and I thought it might be fun to take him back to the house in my plane. The flight to my home takes 15 minutes. I took an hour and a half. I did things that test pilots do. Approaches the stalls, unusual attitudes. But Tom really hung in there. And it was from that moment that I saw Tom would not have it any other way. A total sense of commitment. And not only commitment to his performance, but looking back, a commitment to the reawakening to a national interest in the Apollo missions through this film and the miniseries From the Earth to the Moon.
Somebody big just died. Apollo 13 moon mission leader James Lovell is dead at 97 years old. And my friend Mike North is here to help eulogize him. Mike, a true American hero.
No doubt about it, Joe. Good to talk to you. Good to talk to everybody. We'll get to Jim Lovell in just a minute. A great man, a great American. But first, we got to talk about American institutions, if you will. Cumberland chapels, ladies and gentlemen. When you think of funerals, when you think of class, when you think of dignity, when you think of taking care of your family, you go to Cumberland chapels. You know, they say one of the biggest decisions of your life is where your loved ones or yourself are going to have a funeral. Well, guess what? Cumberland chapels has been the choice for thousands and thousands of people. There's some testimonials of great Chicagoans and suburban Chicagoan people who have contributed mightily to this city and to the state. And there it is, plenty of parking, great time as far as getting in there, not worrying, not standing outside for hours as you do at some places. Not a mom and pop place. They got 4 or 5 chapels. You got the big vestibule. Joe and I might have Joe and me go over there, say hi to the people down the line, take some photos with the Lupos, the Martinos.
Sure.
You know, Cumberland Chapels, 8300 West Lawrence Avenue. Solid people. And they make the death of a loved one easier. Now we go over to Pennyville Station where they make your taste buds easier, ladies and gentlemen. Right there in 2018. Yeah, they opened during COVID and they had to struggle through it the first couple years, and it's all been worth it. It's 2025. They're rolling. They're building another place. They got this place here. The other place going to be on the corner, going to be a double-decker, rooftop deck. But this is the place right now, Pennyville Station. It's always going to be there, outdoor dining, solid as a rock. You got Jesse Rogers there. Boy, he did some yeoman's work on ESPN last night. 112 Main Street, Park Ridge, Illinois. Just a great place. Go see Kino Antonacci. He'll be there tomorrow. He's there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday during the day. Go see the legend, the restaurant, the ambassador of restaurants on the north and northwest side of Chicago and the suburbs, ladies and gentlemen. And they have the happy hour every day, 2 o'clock until 5. Valid house only. Blue Point oysters. Look at that. You can't beat it. Served with cocktail sauce, raw horseradish, truffle fries, kapow! Cauliflower, pork veggie pot stickers, filet, just the whole thing. That Tito's frozen, boy, that makes me want to maybe have a drink again. But then the willpower takes over. Man, but that sounds good.
Sure
I remember
does.
having a few of those for more than $8. But that's the prices now of these drinks, and that's a reasonable. You want to talk about going there, filling up on $20-25 nowadays? Huh? Parking's that much. Parking's that much.
For sure.
Forget about it. All right. So Pennyville Station. Don't forget. Met Jim Lovell in 97, 98.
God
Danny
bless.
Lee, the boss at WSCR, Chicago. And WXRT, the greatest radio guy around. Good friend, my mentor, guy that made my life, man. Gave me an opportunity. And me and BB and him and his wife, Karen, who's still with us, God bless her, went. He says, I got this restaurant for you. It's called Lovell's in Lake Forest. I go, Lovell's in Lake Forest? He goes, yeah. I go, what is it? He goes, remember the astronaut Jim Lovell? I go, yeah. It's his place. I go, get out of here. So he goes, no. I go, what's he doing in Lake Forest? He goes, he lives here now. He was in charge of some stuff we'll talk about in a little bit, but I wanted to get this story out. So we go there, we meet him, and we go in the place, we get seated. Very nice place. It was open for a long time. And then he got out, his son took over, but it just wasn't the same without the attraction of Mr. Lovell. And when I say that, I'll tell you why. So I'm sitting at the table. And with BB, Karen, full house. It's a Thursday night. And here comes this guy. And I should have been more impressed than I was. He's probably the biggest person I've ever met. And I've been in sports radio, and I've met them all. And I've met directors, producers. I've met presidents, President Bush. Met them all. Here comes this man. And he goes, hi, I'm Jim Lovell. And I go,
jeez.
I went, wow. And Danny Lee knew him. And we shook hands. He goes, listen, after you're done, let's go come on down to the cigar room. He had a ventilated room for cigar smoking in the restaurant. Look at that place. It was beautiful. And in another room, he goes, after dinner, and it was a great dinner, all space stuff was there.
No.
His suit, his NASA suit, everything. All in glass.
Jeez.
All in glass. So not only did you go to eat, you had a cigar place, cigar bar, and separate from the restaurant. And then you had the memorabilia room, and then ain't no room with jerseys hanging up. You had the whole space in a glass deal. You had pictures. You had the equipment. You had all that. Now, there he is. And I'll get to him right now because he's one of the all-time greats. That's him with Borman. I mean, these guys were America's heroes. NASA was in the 60s like the Cowboys were in the 30s and 40s on TV or whatever. Only these guys were real. I mean, they were down-to-earth, courageous, regular guys. Okay, they didn't think they were better than anybody else, but everybody knew they were. One of the bravest men who's ever lived. He was born March 25th. There he is with his lovely wife, who's also did a cameo in the movie. Also. So
that's nuts.
March 25th, 1928, died August 7th, 2025. Naval aviator, test pilot, mechanical engineer, command module pilot of Apollo 8. He, along with Frank Borman and William Anders, became one of the first 3 astronauts to fly to orbit the moon. There they are. The guy on the right looks a little bit like Justin Timberlake, I think. He then commanded Apollo 13 lunar mission in 1970, which, after a critical failure, looped around the moon and returned safely to Earth. So he had some issues as far as his spacecraft is concerned. He was a graduate of the Naval Academy in 1952. I was born in 1952. So we usually talk about people that died early or that had some complications. Sort of like Gene Hackman. He lived a long life, but he lived a... And by the way, we still don't have answers to the Gene Hackman
answers.
We'll be talking about this for years. But this guy led a dignified, great American life, married to the same woman. Okay, you usually... She died in 2023. They were married in 1952. They had 4 kids. He spent 29 days, 19 hours, and 5 minutes in space. He was selected by NASA in 1962. Didn't make the first cut in 59 with Alan Shepard, John Glenn, and all those guys. His missions were Gemini 7, Gemini 12, Apollo 8, and then Apollo 13. I hate when guys do that, what Tom Hanks just did with his hands.
The hands over the mouth?
Oh, my God. Not like that, okay? That's what Bee does when she sees me coming finally home. She goes, oh, my God, he's finally coming home. Listen to this. This guy was born in Cleveland, Ohio. He was the only child of James Lovell Sr., a furnace salesman. A furnace salesman. Who does that? Born in Toronto, who died in a car accident when he was 5 in 1933. For 2 years after the death of his father, Lovell and his mother lived with a relative in Terre Haute, Indiana. They then moved to Milwaukee, and he went to Juneau High School. He was a member of the Boy Scouts. He was interested in rocketry and built flying models as a teenager. So he was one of those guys. He graduated from high school. He attended the Wisconsin University in Madison for 2 years, where he studied engineering. I mean, this guy was a brain. He later credited the program for giving him the opportunity to attend college, saying that he otherwise did not have the money to attend, and they didn't give out student loans back in the day, folks. While Lovell was attending pre-flight training in the summer of 48, the Navy was beginning to make cutbacks in the program, and cadets were under a great deal of pressure to transfer out. There were concerns that some or most of the students who graduated as naval aviators would not have pilot billets to fill. To avoid this outcome, he decided to apply to the United States Naval Academy in Annapolis. He secured a nomination from his local U.S. representative, John C. Brophy, and entered Annapolis in January of 48, where then he graduated.
Wow.
Back in 52. He dated Lillian Gerlach while they were in high school, and as a college student, she transferred from Wisconsin State College to George Washington University to be near him while he attended the Naval Academy. They got married in 52 at St. Anne's Church in Annapolis. They had 4 kids, Barbara, James, Susan, and Jeffrey. He had a Navy career that was outstanding. Oh, absolutely. And he was a lead dog, as you can see there. He sat in the big chair no matter what. The astronaut selection, he didn't get selected, as I said, first in the first group. That flew, he intended to fly during the Gemini and Apollo programs. This time the process was a public one. He found out about the selection from an advertisement that had been placed in Aviation Week and Space Technology and decided to apply a second time. So he goes through all that. Then he becomes an astronaut. And I looked at his Wikipedia page. And there's some pages, there's just so much. You just got to edit some stuff out. I mean, it's insane. I don't know if you looked at the whole thing, Joe.
I did.
Yeah, it's like, it's like a scroll. Gene Hackman did the same thing. A lot of these older guys have the same deal. You have
so many accomplishments.
Yeah. The guy, Gemini program, he flew into Gemini program, Gemini 7. There he is. Shows him getting on his spacecraft. Gemini 12. He flew Apollo 1. Okay, the Apollo program, Apollo 8, flew in that, and then this was it, Apollo 13. He was the backdrop CDR of Apollo 11 with Anders as CMP and Hayes as LMP, whatever the hell that means. There he is with my buddy Bob Surratt. I believe that's Marianne Marciano. In early 1969, Anders accepted a job with the National Aeronautics and Space Council. And then, under the normal crew rotation in place during Apollo, Lovell, Mattingly, and Hayes were scheduled to fly as the prime crew for Apollo 14. But what happened was there was a change in Apollo 13. There was an explosion. Now, if you saw the movie with Kevin Bacon and Ron Howard did the directing, I mean, just outstanding. Great cast. And Ron's a great director. I mean, we go back. I mean, there were days I cut school and watched Ronnie.
Those were some happy days you had, weren't they, Mike?
Oh, to watch Andy Griffith, Lucy back to back, back in the day. And there were more, just so many good things. But Lovell lifted off on Apollo 13. On April 11th, he and Hayes were to land near the on the Frogmauer crater, and then the explosion came, and then they had to turn around. And then you didn't know if they were come back enough. That's what the whole movie's based on.
It's damn good movie.
He wrote a book on it, and Tom Hanks went to see him, and they cut a deal, and it's a great movie. It tells you everything you want to know about him. He's a great American, but the coolest thing is I met the guy. I've met them all. I've met, like I said, everybody from Mickey Mantle to Dick Butkus to Harold Ramis, the director, to Ryan Sandberg, Hulk Hogan. Are you kidding me? And this is the biggest, I think, the most impactful guy as far as in America. I never met Jim, but we both rode the bear at Lincoln Park at different times. He's a product of Lincolnwood. Now, Jim retired from the Navy and space program. This is what's cool. On March 1st, 1973, went to work at the Bay Houseman Towing Company in Houston, Texas. Okay, he later worked for Centel in Chicago, and guess what happened?
Oh, really?
Yes. Guess what happened? He became their executive vice president on January 1st, New Year's, 1991. He was also a recipient of the Distinguished Eagle Scout Award. He was also recognized by the Boy Scouts of America. Then he served on the board of directors, including of several organizations, because he's Jim Lovell. You get an astronaut to sit with you. That's unbelievable. And what happened was he ended up loving it here. And he moves to Lake Forest, and he opens up this restaurant. The Lovell family opened a restaurant in Lake Forest, Illinois, Lovell's of Lake Forest. The restaurant displayed, like I told Joe and you, all you folks at the beginning, memorabilia from his time. That is the coolest picture of all time, the moon behind him.
Yeah, right.
Right? How cool is that? The restaurant displayed memorabilia from Lovell's time with NASA and the filming of Apollo 13. The restaurant was sold to his son and executive chef James J. in 2006. The restaurant was put on the market for sale in 2014. It closed in April 2015. The property being auctioned. It's a bank now in Lake Forest, which is a shame, but all good things come to an end. Now,
yeah.
He's won. These are his awards. Okay. Everybody's got trophies, and this guy needs rooms. Okay. He had the Navy's Distinguished Service Medal with the Gold Star, the Distinguished Flying Cross with the Gold Star, the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the Congressional Space Medal of Honor, the NASA Distinguished Service Medal, the NASA Exceptional Service Medal with a star, Legion, the honor, the French's biggest honor. France gave him their biggest honor. Other accomplishments, he won the Harry H. Arnold Trophy. Some of these I don't know. Institute of Navigation Award in 1969.
I found the list of all his awards, Mike. Look.
You got to put it up.
Oh, it's not working. It was a guy with a giant scroll. I'll see if I can get it to work.
You better get it to work because that thing bombed just now. I want you to know that.
I know
You
it
know?
bombed. I was so
No,
ready
you
to
know,
set
you
it
try
up.
something new, something happens, but I know you'll redeem yourself. You always do.
I'll throw it.
The Silver Buffalo Boy Scout. You got it? Or you
Not
look?
yet. I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
The Gemini 6 and 7 crews were awarded the Harmon International Trophy in 1966 in a ceremony at the White House. So he's been to the White House. He was one of 10 Gemini astronauts inducted into the International Space Hall of Fame.
There it is, Mike.
Oh, yeah. There you go. I love that, Joe. You had it, though, didn't you?
I had it. It just was the wrong format.
Oh, that's okay. That was nice, though. And that is a long scroll.
Thank you.
Lovell was featured on the cover of Time magazine on January 3rd, 1969, twice, and on April 27, 1970, and on the cover of Life magazine. These were huge before this iPads, social media. The magazine racks were filled with hundreds of magazines. And to be on Life magazine, which was one of the biggest, and to be on Time twice, when it was a great magazine before it turned to trash, and it is now. There it is. I mean, that's cool. And the moon in the background there. Men of the Year. How about that? I think so. Here's the thing. The thing that stunned him, he still couldn't believe what he did. He couldn't believe that. He looks at the moon, and if you see the clip, he goes, boy, I still can't believe that happened. And they're tight in there. And then in those little things, they had that issue, and he was an experienced pilot. And if you saw the movie, folks, he was the calming influence. Kevin Bacon's ready to lose his mind, or they're going nuts a little bit.
Yeah, it's a darn good movie, and one of Tom Hanks's better movies as well.
Yeah,
that's saying a lot.
He does a biography of a lot of guys. I mean, I put him. I mean, those movies, Apollo 13, Private Ryan. Forrest Gump. Just these movies are. I love Castaway. The diet he went on just to lose all that weight. I mean, when somebody says that certain actors don't deserve the money they make, I mean, Tom Hanks during that movie went from like 190 to like 120, 130. I mean, and it was closely monitored and everything else. So he makes great movies. And he made a movie about Walt Disney too. So, I mean, he does bios. He's strong. He's probably this generation's Jimmy Stewart. If I had to compare him to an old actor.
That's a really good comparison, Mike.
Well, thank you, my friend. If I had to compare him to anybody from back in the day, it's Jimmy Stewart. He just does different roles and just puts it away. A small
what do you want, Mary? You want the moon? Just share the word. I'll take a lash.
Let me tell you, Harvey. Harvey, it's you want to know something? I'm going to be honest with you. I've seen from Pride of the Yankees, Lou Gehrig, you get a tear in your eye. Lassie Come Home, another tear in your eye. When Wilson went off into the ocean and he was screaming, got to be honest with you, it hit me hard. It hit me hard. What can I tell you? Anyway, a small crater on the far side of the moon was named Lovell in his honor. I didn't cry, but it was sad. Don't tell me you didn't feel bad when Wilson fell off.
I did.
Every American, if there's an American out there that says they saw the Castaway and the friendship that developed between him and a ball became real to everybody. But if you're going to tell me that when he woke up and the ball flew off and he couldn't catch it,
it was there.
You didn't feel it? I'm sorry. You have no heart. A small crater on the far side of the moon was named Lovell in his honor. Discovery World in Milwaukee was renamed the James Lovell Museum of Science. How big is that? They changed the name of a museum. The Captain James A. Lovell Federal Healthcare Center was completed, merging the naval healthcare in Great Lakes. He was good to this state.
It's good to Illinois.
And North Chicago Veterans Affairs. Tom Hanks paid a tribute to him following his death, saying, there are people who dare to dream, who dream, and then there are those who lead others to places we would not go on our own. He was that kind of guy. Let's see. He's a trustee, of the National Space Institute, chairman of the National Eagle Scouts. I mean, this is all
Big time.
I mean, the guy needed a house to put all his awards in. He played a cameo, like we said, on the USS Iwo Jima.
That's cool.
Which was great. They said you could play an admiral. He said, no, I'm not playing an admiral. Why don't you want to play an admiral? Because I was a captain, and I won't play anything higher than a captain. So they made him the captain. That
That's
greets Tom Hanks. The captain's name was Leland Kirkamo, along with his wife Marilyn, who also has a film a cameo in the film. Lovell provided also the track on the Apollo 13 single disc and 2-disc special edition. So,
wow.
I mean, this guy was as special as they come. I got the opportunity one time to shake hands. I value him more as I got older. You know, you got to remember, guys were flying into space all the time at that time, 69, 70, 71. We were shooting them off. But to meet an astronaut was pretty cool, you know, and we were all into the astronauts in the 60s. I mean, that's all. They were America's heroes, I think, back then. And that's what we need in this country now. We need more American heroes like
more
Jim
than ever,
Lovell.
man.
More than ever. And, you know, we need just people like that to set the example. I mean, you read this guy's bio. I mean, I think kids should read a different bio every day of somebody. And some of that will rub off. You can't make it to school. You don't want to go to school like half of you don't. Read the newspapers. Get on your iPad. School yourself if you have to. That's what I ended up doing. Okay? I mean, nobody's going to show you.
So many different ways to educate yourself now.
That's right. And you got to be into it, into what you're doing. I was into sports, thank God. I made my bones that way. But education's the best way. But if you're not going to school, you better learn something, because you're going to be hurt. And those guys went to school, and look what they did.
It sure did.
Look what they did. So, you know, we want to wish, of course, his kids.
Of course.
Nothing but the best. The Lovell family. Your dad was an American hero.
Absolutely.
Period. End of story. I got to shake hands with a legend, a guy that flew around the moon, a guy they made a movie of. And that hits me because I'm a big fan of celebrities. I've always been a fan. And when you meet somebody like that, it's, you know, you can meet an Ernie Banks, okay? But there's baseball players. There's hundreds of them every year.
Sure.
Astronauts, not too many.
The very slim crew, and then let alone a guy that used his mind to save the lives of 2 other astronauts and himself. That's pretty.
And then
wild.
decides to open a restaurant afterwards. How you doing, everybody? And then
he still wants to go back to space after that whole ordeal.
He did. He wanted to go back for a long
know.
time, and then he came to terms. That's a good catch, Joe. Because I've seen biographies on him. They kept promising them, and then he got too old, and then, you know, he had plenty of space time, 29 days worth total in for NASA. So it was a great life. 97 years of distinguished service, great American, great family man, and even had time to open a restaurant. On behalf of Joe Mandel, I'm Mike North. We appreciate Cumberland Chapels. We appreciate Pennyville Station. And we appreciate you. And we appreciate what Jim Lovell brought to us. Good night, everybody.